Well, I'm not sure if you can see down here, but it's kind of complicated to work. I'll show you my special tool in a minute. I bet you're all dying to see it. But the bolts on this pulley are really tight. Right. Always a success when you get it off, eh? The problem is holding the tool and taking the pulley off at the same time. Might as well leave camera running, you can see this in real time. Ah, Jesus, how tight that up. Oh, there goes the tool. Oh, man, that's tight. That is tight, that's far too tight. You know, they put them on with guns, you know. They don't sort of realise that people have to take them off again. Because they're only like this. And they're so easy to round off, and this is why I'm saying you've got to use a single hex socket. The problem is, you're tending to go like this when you turn it off. I'll have to get a bigger drive. Right, 1/2 inch drive now. Bloody animals. They shouldn't be near cars. I'm going to have to lock it up with something better. How can I take? Right, that's that off, one off. Let's see if I can get the last one off. I had to resort to my Stiltson's monkey wrench, whatever you're calling it, because my special tool I've been perfecting, the jaws are too far away. I've got the jaw style right, but I've got to move it closer. Anyway, just wanted to show you what a bloody carry on we have sometimes trying to get nuts and bolts off. They were far too tight. And of course the thing is, once you got them off, they just spin out. But if you round those heads off, you're buggered. Honestly, it's radiator out or grinding off the heads, and it's too tight. Why do we have to take that off? Because there's some bolts behind it. And also, another little trick, once that's off, we'll screw those back into the holes again, is that we just drop the pump out for the power steering. Then we don't have to dismantle the hydraulic system. You know, we don't have to drop any fluid out. So let me put those bolts back into there. I just wonder if somebody's been into this with a power steering pump before. Oh, yeah, come out. So there's 4 bolts holding the power steering on. Sort of crack them off with this. I think I might just use my little quarter drive socket to get that off. Gun just to spin them out with. Oh no, 3/8 drive. Because this will make life a little bit faster. Oh, wait a minute, could I get my... Oh, I've got a socket here. Oh, I won't use that one. Where's this one? If it'll go in. Nope. That won't go in. But that one will. Yeah, this isn't a very powerful gun, but it's good for, once they're cracked off, it's good for whizzing things off, you know. So now we can drop down the power steering pump. These bolts I'm just going to keep on the bench. Yeah, not too bad access now. You know, I'm tempted, I think, I'll tell you what I'm going to do for a bit of a change. I'm going to take that bottom hose off completely because I've got access to it now. It's just another thing out the way. If we could find out what the socket size is, number 6 I think. Just be always be careful with these plastic radiators. There we go. Oh, I see it's got a block heater in it, which are absolutely useless. No, I'll show you that when we put it back on. Now we can drop the pump down to a better angle. Right down there. I'll take the camera off and I'll show you. If I can get the camera off. Wait a minute. So there we go. There's a pump down there. There's the bolts that held it on. You see you can drop it right down there because we need to get these bolts out of here, here, those 3 out of here, the alternator off here, and a bolt out of there, and then that cover should come off. Should. Right, let me put the camera back on the stand, I'll get a bit better organised. Right, we'll get the alternator off. I've got already the battery disconnected, so we don't have to worry about that too much. There goes my sockets on the floor. That's good, that's where they live. Hopefully we can drop this alternator just out the way without too much carrying on. Get the nut out, and at the bottom, oh, you alright? I don't know why I'm asking you because you can't answer. Right at the bottom there's a bolt holding the alternator on. That's alright, that's come out. Yeah, this has been out before. There's all anti-seize on some of the bolts. Well, the alternator's been out. I noticed on the pump there was anti-seize on the pump as well. I don't know why somebody's done that, look. You see they've cut the bolt down there. Now before we take the alternator out, we're just going to give it a little tap at the back where the to push that sliding bolt. What that'll do is it'll make it easier to get on and off, because there's a sliding dowel in there. There you go. That's all we want off. We don't need to move it, but we need to get access to a bolt that's right down at the bottom here. So we'll keep those. Yeah, you see, look, anti-seize. See? Good. So whether the alternator's been replaced in the past, I do not know. Next. Well, that's it really. These bolts here are notoriously bad for getting seized up. So I'm going to leave them to the last. There's a bolt right down at the bottom, which I showed you earlier. You do not have to take the crank pulley off to get that off. With a little look. Oh, bloody hell. Look, my backside. Where was that half-inch drag? want to get an extension for the 3/8. There we go. Yeah, that was nice and tight. I wouldn't care, there's no water jacket round it at the bottom. They just tighten them up ever so tightly. Let's get that one out. Yeah, it's had some anti-seize on that. Next one, that's a 13mm and a 10. Let's change the socket for a 13. We've got one. See if we can get this one out there. Ah, that's not too bad. I don't want to come out. You're coming out. I don't want to go out. There you go. Now, come over the top of the light. Round here. And spanner on round the back. Yeah, that's all it took. Sorry about the shaking. Right, we leave that bolt in, we would just push it back. And that was the old alternator bracket off the old series trucks, off the series 3s. Next, it's these ones here, and those are the ones I'm not looking forward to doing. Back again. Here we go. Now these have got to be a tight fit on here. Because if these break or snap, we're screwed. Oh, look at that, they come out. Brilliant. We'll get
Yeah, back again.
I'm glad that wasn't tight. Even if we get one out, it's a bonus, isn't it? Well, like I say, somebody's been into this before. Just be careful when you pull these bolts back, because they're long and they can go through the radiator. Oh, that wasn't even tight. Was it actually on? Yeah, that wasn't even tight. What about this one? Look, you know, they've tightened up some bolts so tight you can't get them off, and then the ones that's pretty crucial they didn't tighten up. Sorry about that, it's a dinner bell. Oh, we're not far off having a look and see what's in there. Of course, naturally I forgot to drop the radiator water out, and then the block water out, but never mind. I was quickly on hand with my bucket underneath. Get carried away sometimes. Yeah, they haven't got thread sealer on them, but or anti-seize, but they've got something. I used underneath. I always use those big plastic trays, you know, for putting parts in. They're very small and thin, but they're really handy for jobs like this, for collecting water, because they're quite wide and they haven't spilt hardly a drop so far, so that's pretty good. But it is wise to drain the block off You'll see it in a minute. It's Sunday morning, come on. We've got other things to worry about, like bloody viruses and stuff. That's good, I'm pleased about that, because sometimes they are a nightmare. So, are you ready for this? Well. It has got a metal P gasket on it. So why did it fail? Well, it's probably because the bolts weren't tight. Let's have a clean up and find out.